Hi, welcome to today's video. We're going to be discussing the functions of carbohydrates. There's plenty of reasons why carbs should be a part of everyone's diets. Carbs might be getting a bad rap these days, but there's a primary reason for having them, and we're going to take a look at that. Number one, we have this provides energy. Carbs are a primary source of energy for the body, providing fuel for physical activity and vital organ function. For example, glucose is the preferred fuel source in the human body. The journey begins with dietary carbs. As we consume carbs, the digestive system breaks them down into simple sugars, primarily glucose. And glucose acts like the body's fuel currency, readily absorbed into the bloodstream and transported to cells throughout the body. Once inside cells, glucose enters a complex series of reactions known as cellular respiration. We're going to take a look at this later on when we get into the fats and the proteins, but for now we're just going to be looking at carbs and cellular respiration. So this process, which can occur with or without oxygen, like from an aerobic versus an anaerobic respiration, it utilizes glucose to generate adenosine triphosphate, or otherwise known as ATP. So ATP is the fundamental energy currency that powers all cellular function. It acts like a tiny battery, storing and releasing energy in the form of high-energy phosphate bonds. Various cellular processes like muscle contraction or nerve impulse transmission rely on ATP for their energy needs. And when the cellular respiration process breaks down glucose, it releases energy trapped within its chemical bonds. So cells can then utilize the energy stored in the phosphate bond of ATP to power various functions. And we'll look at later at how we store fat, or how glucose is storing fat. So second, the storage of energy. Carbs are stored in the liver and muscles as glycogen, which can be quickly broken down into glucose and used as an energy source when needed. So carbs are often viewed solely as the body's primary source of energy. However, they have a role that extends beyond fueling immediate cellular process. So there's a vital function of energy storage, ensuring a steady supply of fuel when the body's demands exceeds immediate glucose availability. And this is going from glucose to glycogen. So while cells readily utilize glucose for energy, the body has a limited capacity to store it directly. So to address this, excess glucose undergoes a conversion process within the liver and the muscles. And here an enzyme helps transform glucose into a more complex carb called glycogen. So the benefits of glycogen storage is that it has a sustained energy. Glycogen provides a sustained release of energy, and this is particularly beneficial for activities requiring prolonged exertion, such as endurance exercise. It maintains blood sugar levels, and it provides muscle fuel. So muscles store glycogen for quick bursts of energy during physical activity. It does have a limited capacity, though. So it helps in brain function. The brain relies on glucose as a primary source of energy, so adequate energy intake is important for proper brain function and cognitive performance. Glucose fuels the brain for the most part, and the brain really needs those carbs. It also promotes digestive health. So dietary fiber promotes digestive health by regulating bowel movements. It reduces constipation and promotes the growth of beneficial gut bacteria, and that stems strictly from fiber. Because fiber can't be digested by the human body, it takes whatever comes into the body and just basically comes right through and exits out the other end, taking with it a lot of components within the diet. It improves immune function. Certain types of carbs, such as beta-glucans found in oats and barley, have been shown to enhance immune function and protect against infection. That's one of the secondary functions it has. And finally, a primary function of carbs are that they help in protein sparing. When carbs are available for energy, they can spare protein from being used for energy and instead allow it to be used for its primary functions, such as tissue repair and maintenance. Protein plays a critical role in various bodily functions, but it's not the most important fuel for muscles. So carbs, primarily broken down to glucose, are the body's preferred energy source for most cells. When dietary carb intake is sufficient, the body readily utilizes glucose for energy needs. So when the carb intake is insufficient to meet energy demands, the body turns to alternative fuel sources. And one such source is protein. However, protein is essential for building and repairing tissues, enzymes, and other vital structures. This breakdown of protein for energy, termed gluconeogenesis, comes at a cost. It's a depletion of the body's protein reserve. So it'll actually take that protein right out of your muscles. So this is where carbs come to the rescue. By providing a readily available source of energy through glucose, carbs prevent the body from breaking down to protein for its immediate energy needs. So then we look at thermogenesis as well. Carbs have a thermogenic effect, meaning they increase body temp, energy expenditure during digestion and absorption. It produces heat constantly, and this is called thermogenesis. And then finally, there's the regulation of blood sugar. Carbs, especially complex carbs with fiber, can help regulate blood sugar levels by slowing down the absorption of glucose into the bloodstream. So essentially, carbs serve a crucial role beyond just simply fueling our cells. Enabling efficient energy storage through glycogen, they contribute to sustained energy levels. They provide stable blood sugar and provide for an optimal muscle function. So making informed dietary choices and prioritizing complex carbs, which we'll get into in just a moment in our next lesson, and maintaining a balanced intake are key to unlocking the full potential of carbs for both energy and efficient storage. So next, we're going to take a look at simple and complex carbs.